Talitha Kum International Kenya, a faith-based organization, is dedicated to countering human trafficking in Kenya. Working with human rights and anti-trafficking stakeholders, Talitha Kum International Kenya raises awareness and protects human dignity. Talitha Kum International Kenya Project Director, Sister Mercy Mwai, gives a brief highlight of the project.
So Talitha Kum Kenya is a network of Talitha Kum International, an organization under the International Union of Superior Generals in Rome. So Talitha Kum Kenya aims in countering the issue of human trafficking in collaboration with various stakeholders. We collaborate with the Ministry of Labor and Social Protection. We collaborate with the Association of Sisterhoods of Kenya and the RACK in this journey to end the aspect of the issue of human trafficking.
From 23rd to 26th of January 2025, Talitha Kum International Kenya held a key startup meeting at the Mese Retreat Center in Karen, Nairobi, Kenya. Attendees included congregation contacts, youth ambassadors, interreligious representatives from Garissa and Mombasa, and other stakeholders.
So the network has a membership of 41 religious congregations who subscribe to Talitha Kum Kenya. So during this 2-day activity, we have been with them at the Mese, just looking at the program implementations for the year 2025-2026. So the aim of this meeting is for us to plan the implementations and the interventions of Talitha Kum Kenya for the period of 2025-2026.
Participants expressed gratitude for the insights gained.
Yeah, the last 3 days have been very, very informative in the sense that all the members have come together for good planning. We have also come together to touch base and know where we have been, what we have been doing. At the same time, get to know what is expected of each one of us. And one of the things that has been stressed is the accountability from planning to implementing and reporting. I think that has been very key, and at the same time the introduction to the tools that we are supposed to use. So as we go out to implement now, we will be implementing having in mind what is our responsibilities as member congregations.
Interviews conducted after the sessions highlighted the need to clarify human trafficking for those unfamiliar with the issue. What then is human trafficking?
In simple terms, human trafficking is the trade of men and women for purposes of exploitation.
What factors can make individuals vulnerable to trafficking?
There are certain factors that contribute to people being susceptible to this particular trafficking. And one of them is, vulnerability when it comes to seeking jobs. And also the poverty levels, because you find and understand that many of our young people, to be so precise, and the vulnerable groups in the society, when we talk about the youths, the women and the children. So at that nature of being desperate, they are looking for jobs. So they can find themselves being trafficked now. They are promised for jobs maybe abroad, and they end up in being trafficked.
How are Talitha Kum youth ambassadors raising awareness about human trafficking?
For this year 2025, we are basically on a very plan to do a number of activities, and in this mostly, as I said, as African youth ambassadors for Talitha Kum in Kenya, we are targeting mostly the young people. So as we plan for our activities this year, we are going to leverage on the digital space to ensure that we get the audience of the young people, because most of the young population in Kenya, they are very versant with the technology and they mostly use technology. So we are going to do a lot of online campaigns, including the Zoom meetings, you know, webinars, conducting those webinars, and also the content creation to ensure that the message about human trafficking, those young people are very well aware about them.
What steps should the Kenyan government take to effectively counter human trafficking?
When it comes to maybe giving a word to the government, to our government of Kenya around mitigating human trafficking, I think we have systems, we have programs out there that the government has put in place to fight against human trafficking, beginning from the migration to the means of transport to, you know, the areas of fighting against human trafficking. I think all we need, or what the government needs to do now, is to evaluate these systems and make them work.
My call to the government of Kenya is to remind or to strengthen the responsibility that the government has to take care of its citizenry, because it is the responsibility of the government to make sure that the citizens are taken care of, and if there are jobs abroad, to have them in a way that our citizens are safe and things are kept on check. Again, to really stop, not just to talk about it, but to stop the illegal part, the illegality part of it, because there are so many organizations that are registered for taking people out of the country, and I think that could be the responsibility of the government for easy checks and balances.
Talitha Kum International Kenya has also trained community champions on issues of human trafficking, and these champions have greatly impacted their communities.
Mimi ni community champion na mimi ni TOT katika hili shirika la Talithakum International. Kutokana na shirika la Talithakum walionipatia elimu, nikapeleka kule nyanjani. Kama mimi mkazi wa Changamwe wa Mombasa County, niliweza kuhamasisha jamii katika kulingana na ile masomo ambayo nilipewa na Talithakum kuhusu mambo ya ulanguzi wa binadamu, na nilipata kujua kwa community wana hayo mambo kwa community, lakini hawakujua kama ni ulanguzi. Watu wengi hawakuwa na ufahamu. Kwa hivyo hii vitu tumepata kujua, kuna cases kwa ground kule nyanjani, lakini watu wengi kule wa jamii haikujua, hawakuwa na ufahamu sana kuhusu mambo ya ulanguzi wa binadamu.
In partnership with the RSCK through the ASK, religious men and women are committed to working together to combat human trafficking.
Okay, we as RSCK members, we are partnering with the ASK in the work of Talithakum Kenya. Actually, what we are really doing is actually combating human trafficking through faith and action, whereby members are committing themselves to deal with the issue of trafficking, human trafficking, not only as a work which they are employed, but we are doing it because it is part and parcel of our life as religious men and religious women. So we come together to express our synergies, to express our talents, to share together and to work for the benefit of reducing the issue of human trafficking through Talithakum Kenya.
Sister Winnie Mutuku shares a message for other NGOs and faith-based organizations dedicated to ending human trafficking.
So I encourage those who are implementing the activities for this program for Talithakum International Kenya, the member congregations, to intensify the whole idea of networking. You know, if we can join, we can even become members of networks you know, with other organizations, with other groups of like-minded people who have the same cause of fighting against human trafficking. I think that way we will be able to go far. That way we will be able to eradicate or reduce the cases of human trafficking in our society.
Join Talitha Kum International Kenya in the fight against human trafficking. Together, we can make a difference.